All right. Welcome back to Moonvale. This is episode 2 in the last video. We were able to successfully, and I might add, probably because I am what Moonvale calls me, probably the greatest detective in the world, I was able to successfully find the cabin in the woods of that old hermit in Dark Rise Forest. I was able to find it with no help of Ash, by the way. I thank you to those who commented. Violet is the other picture of the cat, so that is Violet. So we have Eric, Ash, Violet, and Charlie. We are searching for Adam. In the last video, we were able to identify that hut in the cabin of the old man where Eric is now probably at. We don't know if that old man is a Jedi from Star Wars or a Sith. We're not sure. We do know that he is very experienced in the ways of the Force and was able to force push Eric to the ground, according to the video that we saw a couple videos ago. Now, like I said, without the help of Ash, and all of the credit should go to me, I was able to find the hut in Dark Rise Forest and then shared that with the group. And again, Ash didn't want me to share it with the group. Ash wanted me to be secretive about it. Ash essentially was asking me to lie to the group, and I didn't feel comfortable doing that, so I told the group. And it seems like Charlie might be wanting to go out to Dark Rise Forest now. Maybe I should have listened to Ash, but I don't think I should have. I'm open and honest with the group, and my ethics, my morals, they're still there. They're still there. I'm okay with my decision until it ends one of the characters' lives, and then I might have some regrets. But there's only one way to find out what my decisions have caused. And that's by continuing with the story. So we're back in the group chat. Eric says, "Hey, are you there?" Eric is back at the old man's hut. I don't know if it has power. I don't know if he has electricity, but it seems like he might have because Eric's phone was definitely dead. Ooh, I forgot to mention in the last video, we also had a couple cameos from Duskwood. We were able to kind of not necessarily talk to Dan and Cleo, but we were kind of we saw some old messages that they had recently sent, but they weren't being sent out the way they were supposed to be sent. Like they were trying to send out the messages, but they wasn't going to the people that they was supposed to be going to. And then all of a sudden, Nemos was able to then send all the messages. And we saw that Jesse is in great distress. Great distress. I saw that, some viewers commented, said, it's probably because, Richie covered up somebody being killed in the last in Duskwood, and then kidnapped Hannah, and then attacked the friends, and attacked Jesse, and then essentially deleted himself in the cave. And maybe that's the reason why, deleted himself in the cave after he confessed to Jesse over the phone. And maybe that was the reason why Jesse was really upset. And I'm here to tell you that I don't think that it is. I'm almost certain Jesse is upset and just inconsolable at this point in time because me and Jesse had a thing in Duskwood. It comes to no surprise. Nobody should be surprised that me and Jesse had a thing in Duskwood. And I moved on to Moonvale. It happened. Years went by in my time. In game time, only like maybe a week. but time went on, and I moved on to Moonvale, and I think I broke Jesse's heart. I think I broke her heart. Anyways, back to Moonvale. Let's talk to Eric. Eric says, "Hey, are you there? Online and ready to go as always." Oh, that's a relief. Of course I'm here. What made you think otherwise? Now, is Eric texting us or is the hermit texting us? I have no idea, but I'm online and ready to go as always. Tongue-tied, hey. Didn't even notice you were online. Where have you been? It's so good to hear from you. was really worried about. Where have you been, Eric? And how are you able to message me back? You got some kind of Violet's on. It probably won't say anything because Violet's just like a, a a silent watcher, essentially, a silent viewer in the background. Just does not talk to me, does not hardly ever even say hello to me. And it kind of hurts my feelings. So if you're one of those silent viewers that tunes in on a regular basis but doesn't say hi to me or doesn't talk to me, you kind of hurt my feelings. All I ask is just a hello. Say hello, and I will say hello back. I will respond back. But no, I do appreciate the silent viewers as well, just as much as I do those who comment on a daily basis. You guys are still awesome in my eyes. Anyways, Violet, of course, had to prove me wrong and actually talk a little bit in this. So Eric says, sorry, couldn't text you any earlier. And then Violet just says, Eric, I was meaning to message you the second we got in, but at that point, my battery had given up completely. We guessed as much. So you're in the hut now. Yeah, we guessed as much, but I still had a bad feeling about everything. We just couldn't be sure. Look, I still had a bad feeling about everything because it looks like that old guy was, Grandpa. It looks like he's got some kind of special psychic powers, telekinesis or something, because he shoved you down without coming in any kind of physical contact with you, Eric. But I digress. But Eric says, but you got my voice message, right? Yeah, but it didn't really help. But we did. Then he went all fine. I'm afraid I couldn't listen. Yeah, look, we did. Which I'm pretty sure was a premium chat option. But because we have the media package, it doesn't really show us which ones are premium chats and which ones aren't. So that's kind of difficult to see, but I do believe that one was a premium chat option because you could either listen to it or you could say that, like, hey, I was not able to. And the only reason you wouldn't be able to is if you didn't have the gems to pay for it. But we have the media package, so we'll be able to see all of the premium content. Anyways, Eric's is good. I wasn't sure it had gone through. I recorded it, pressed send, and the screen went black. What about your leg? Did you get it bandaged and Ash is back online? Yes, I did. It hardly hurts anymore. And you think we believe you. Look, it's good to hear. It's good to hear that your leg doesn't hurt very much anymore. Violet, this is very good. Charlie's chiming in. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, but let's leave it there. Let's skip ahead to the next question. Who on earth is this dude? This old guy. This dark rise forest hermit. And why does he have a hut in the middle of nowhere? And where was he going? Was he looking for something in the forest? Yeah, that's kind of an interesting question. Like, why was he just happened to be near Eric in the forest? Like, he had to be out there for some reason. Charlie says, that would have been my follow-up question. Eric's like, okay, one by one. His name is Joseph Whitmore. Joseph Whitmore. Which is pretty much all he told me on the way here. So he said, like, hey, I've got an abandoned hut. Well, it's not abandoned. I guess it's not abandoned. He's got a hut that he's the only one that lives in the middle of nowhere, in Dark Rise Forest. Come with me. My name's Joseph Whitmore. That's it. Oh, and I have a first aid kit. That's all he said. My name's Joseph Whitmore. Follow me. Don't ask questions. Was there a reason he didn't say anymore? Because he's suspicious. That would be the reason. Because he's sus. He was way too focused on finding the way back. If he lives out there, then I'm sure he knows the forest like the back of his hand. Like, I'm sure he knows all the trails. He knows all the paths. He knows how to get from his hut to anywhere in that forest, probably. And I was too focused on putting one foot in front of the other. There was no direct path to the hut, so we had to go through the undergrowth. It wasn't exactly easy for me. No other way to put it. So that's why it took so long. You really thought you could keep your injury a secret from us? ? Um, I'm not going to bring up the whole injury thing again. Like, he did it. It's done. He's feeling better. Let's move on. Let's not perseverate, perseverate. Let's not do that anymore about the leg. Whatever, however it is that you say that word. But yes, and it was much further than I thought it would be. When suddenly we were here, he got some bandages and asked me what I was doing in Dark Rise. I'd have lied to him if I were you. I hope you told him the truth. What did you tell him? I'm curious as to what Eric told him. That my buddy was missing and I had reason to believe that he was somewhere in Dark Rise. So the truth. What was his reaction? And did he act did he act suspicious? Probably. It was super sus after you told him that. So you only told him about it. Did he act suspicious? Did he know about your friend? Does he know about Adam? Is he the one that dragged him through the forest? He didn't ask any questions. If that's what you mean. So super suspicious. You're gonna tell me that you're out here looking for a friend and I'm not gonna ask you questions? Suspicious. Sus. Did he see Vega? The dictaphone. He didn't offer to help you? Describe the hut for us. Let's get a description of the hut. Well, it's seen better days. It must have been built here quite a while ago. Did Joseph Whitmore build it? Or did he just find it and just start living in it? It was a bit strange at first. What do you mean a bit strange? Well, you're there, walking through this dense, isolated forest, and then suddenly there's a hut. But it blends in really well with its surroundings. It was just kind of strange. Almost surreal. Thanks, that's all I wanted to know. And what about the inside of the hut? Was it furnished? Was it modern? Probably not. It was probably very, very woody. Just a bunch of, what would be the aesthetic term for that? I can't think of it. But like wood, a lot of wood furniture. Exactly. So the interior is aesthetic. Aesthetic. The interior is aesthetic. Yeah. A lot of wood furniture. He probably whittled most of it himself. There's another word for it. I just can't think of it right now. Where it's a lot of like woody, kind of like your browns, your oranges, greens, just like that kind of color palette. Can't think of the word, but I know what he's talking about. Look, I can imagine. I can imagine what it probably looks like. Oh, and there's an old generator in the garden. There's the power. I'm glad they cleared that up. I'm glad that they were able to clear up how he was able to charge up his phone. But most of the lights in here are just candles. Maybe the generator can't generate like it used to. So how'd you charge your phone? Through the generator. He just said that there's a generator. Interesting. Maybe the generator can't generate like it used to. But we know that it was able to charge his phone. That's my theory too, says Eric. And what's the guy like? Strange, probably. Probably very not very social, very antisocial. Probably doesn't know how to communicate really well with, with the normies of the world. So what's the guy like? I mean, his character. I mean, he's introverted, 100%. So he's hard to read. Tell me more, Eric. Well, it's not like I've known him all that long. I'll let you know if I notice anything else about him. And he says he never saw Adam? Correct. Interesting. nor anyone else, or anything suspicious other than himself? Nothing. That's sus. That is sus in itself. And we believe him? He probably has like an old cellar below his hut, and Adam's probably chained up in there. Chained up on like some kind of like cold rock wall, just hanging there by his toes or something. I don't know. But we believe him. Yes, he doesn't seem like he's lying to me. Maybe he's just really good at being introverted. Good, that's reassuring to hear. I'm just going to trust your assessment. Would you say you're a good judge of character? You know what? I'm just going to judge your... I'm just going to trust, not judge your assessment. I'm just going to trust your assessment. But let me know in the comments, do you guys trust Joseph Whitmore, or is he super sus? And let me know your theories on how he was able to use the Force against Eric. Because he shoved Eric down without anything physically. He did it by using straight Force palm, or the metachlorine in his blood. That's what he used. But he offered me to rest here for a bit, and as soon as the sun is up, he'll escort me out of the forest. That should be soon, right? I don't know. Where is he now? Yeah, where is he at now? And do you really want to leave the forest? Are we done looking for Adam for the time being? But Eric doesn't know. He's somewhere in the house. It's a tiny hut. You can't see every single corner of the hut. The man in the woods. Joseph Whitmore just got a achievement completed. He said he was going to get something, then disappeared in the other room. That was what? Oh, okay, there's Charlie. I was like, that was the end of our conversation. Wait a second, though. Why wait until dawn? What's he planning on doing until then? Well, you probably don't want to go back out at nighttime. You can't really see where you're going. Dig a grave. Dig a grave to put Eric and Adam in. Sharpen his knives. Hide a corpse. I mean, it doesn't sound that suspicious to me. No, I mean, you have somebody that you're... Like, if you are a good guy living in the middle of the forest by yourself as an introvert, unable to... be in the presence of just the general population, being very isolated by yourself for so long, and then you happen to find yourself upon an injured person out in the middle of Dark Rise Forest, and you offer to help them, the least you could do is let them stay till dawn. You don't just help them and then kick them back out at midnight in Dark Rise. So I guess if he's a good guy, it doesn't sound so suspicious. But if he's a bad guy, super sus. But I'm gonna say it doesn't sound too suspicious. Ash says, Charlie, your imagination. It's wild, Charlie. I think that's more for my sake. So I can rest my leg a bit longer. Yeah. Not as sus. Or maybe because it might have stopped raining by then, or maybe so you can get some sleep. Plus, it's just easier to navigate the forest during the day. Yeah, that's very logical. We know that from experience by now. We definitely know that by experience. Just look at Eric for proof. Yeah, I don't know if Eric would have fell down that hill and not injured his leg if it was during the day. So, just look at Eric for proof. I didn't mean to take a shot at you, Eric, but, it is what it is. What if he's a hunter? I'm sure he's a hunter. He's living out there by himself. He's got to eat something. He's probably hunting and gathering. Probably eating mushrooms and acorns and persimmons, if there's persimmon trees out there, but only if they're ripe. You don't want to eat an unripe persimmon. That doesn't feel good. But there's probably other animals that he's probably hunting for the protein aspect of it. I don't know. That's my guess. There was a body of water out there. Maybe he fishes. Maybe there's trout or something like that in the lake. I don't know. That's my guess. What if he's a hunter? Would that be a problem? Are hunters and murderers the same people in your book? I was wondering that myself. I mean, like, would that be a problem, Charlie? Like, what if he is a hunter? Who damn cares? He's got to do something to survive out there. Charlie says, well, if he doesn't have a license for hunting, things could get pretty bad for him. Eric is the first person that Joseph Whitmore has seen in probably years. I don't think there's any fish and wildlife enforcement that's going out there checking his licenses to hunt. There are hefty fines on illegal poaching and red log, you know? Didn't know that, especially when it comes to endangered species. Yeah, isn't that the case pretty much everywhere? I mean, it is, but, you know, when you're that isolated, I doubt you're going to have any communication with any type of law enforcement going out there to find you and check to see if you have a license, if you're that isolated. And there might, who knows, there might even be, I don't know, there might even be a rule. I'm not sure if there's a rule or some kind of law in place. Like if you are that isolated, if you're out there in the wilderness, if you're living essentially by yourself and you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres and you're living in a hut and you have to live off the animals and the wildlife or the fish or just the herbs and the greenery that's in your area, like is there a thing that says like it's okay to do that without a license? I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't know. But isn't that pretty much the case everywhere? Eric? What say you? Are you there? Did you see anything in the house that might support that theory? I mean, I'm sure he's got a rifle. I'm sure he's got something. 1 second, I have to put my phone away for a bit. I wonder why. What are you doing? This hunter theory doesn't sound too far-fetched, in my opinion. No, the hunter theory doesn't sound far-fetched, but like, what do you expect them to do? Why are we perseverating on this hunter theory, and why is that a thing? Like, why is that a big thing? But plugging the phone back in, I think I switched it on too early. Phone's damn dying. Generator can't even keep the phone living. Maybe Eric can take a careful look around. Maybe. Just maybe. Yeah, and what exactly do you think he'll find? Whittled wood, a certificate saying best hunter in the country. Yeah, honestly, Ash? No, but maybe some trophies or something. But a hunter wouldn't be patrolling the forest with a torch. Yeah, maybe. Why wouldn't he be? I mean, it's your source of light. It's not like he can just run to the local Walmart and buy batteries for his flashlights. He lives in the middle of nowhere. He's got no stores around him. He's got to use other forms of light and energy and fuel. He doesn't have like stockpile of batteries, I assume. I mean, if he did have a stockpile of batteries, then yeah, he'd be going out there with flashlights. But he didn't. He had a torch with fire for light. Hopefully he doesn't burn down the whole damn forest. Sheesh. I don't even know what to say. But yeah, like I got what, a hunter wouldn't be patrolling the forest with a torch, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to that. Unless he was looking for someone. He might, see, that's my thing. Like, why was he out in the middle of the night, walk around with the forest? Like, was he looking for somebody? I mean, didn't I already say that? Like, I was talking about, like, he could have been looking for someone. Possibly. I definitely said that. Maybe not to you, but I definitely said it out loud. He's got a rifle. Of course he does. Why is that? It's not surprising. Were you keeping that from us on purpose. I lived alone. If I lived alone in the woods, I'd have one too. If I was if I was on my own in the woods, I'd have a rifle, shotgun, maybe a small pistol or something like that. You'd have all the ranges of weaponry for all the different things you might need it for out in the middle of the forest. And Eric says, yeah, so would I, probably. Well then, there we have it. This proves our theory that he's a hunter. And again, what does it matter? Absolutely, case closed. This doesn't prove anything. It's a relief in it. It doesn't prove anything. And Ash says, exactly. This is concerning if you ask me. Again, I don't think it's concerning either. And then Violet, her one response per video just is, yeah, I agree. Don't blow this out of proportion. It's not long until dawn. And until then, I'll just try getting some rest and taking care of my leg. You promise to be careful. Sounds reasonable. Will you even manage to walk all the way back? Look, it sounds reasonable. You got to get some rest. Get your leg better. When dawn comes, you can head back out with Joseph Whitmore and his rifle. Maybe go on a hunting trip. Who knows? And then get back to your car. Let him escort you out of Dark Rise Forest. Thanks, guys. Seriously, stop worrying. I have this under control. And Eric is now offline. Charles says, not to be that guy, but he's going to say something like, I don't feel safe about this. I don't trust this Joseph Whitmore. When Eric says, don't worry, then it's time for us to start worrying. Exactly what I was about to say. Well, we can't really do anything about it. And yet he's been handling things pretty well so far. Yeah, I mean, he's been handling things pretty well so far, other than the fact that he hurt his leg falling down a hill. And then he got picked up by some desolate, isolated hermit who's introverted and just doesn't interact with the world in any way. But he's doing well. He's doing fine. He's fine. And you have to admit that, I think. Besides, all this speculating is getting us nowhere. We're just freaking each other out. You guys are freaking yourselves out. I'm cool, calm, and collected, as I always am. But no, he should rest up. Yeah, he should. You're absolutely right. In the house of a potential murder. In a house with a potential hunter theory. We're just exploring all possibilities. I'm with you on that. We're just exploring all possibilities. We're just all the good, all the bad, all the in-between. Yes, but still. But still what? At the end of the day, there's only one of us who can truly assess the situation, and that's Eric. And if Eric's okay with it, then I guess we are too. And what if it was an accident? What if what was an accident? Like, what do you mean? You remember the fence. But did he get hurt on the fence or on the hill? That fence usually makes sure nobody just wanders through Dark Rise. So whenever our buddy Whitmore encounters something in the woods, he'll always just think he's pointing his rifle at a deer or something. With you so far, or a boar, but not a person. See, so the only thing that I would say against that is that, Whitmore being out there for as long as he probably has been, he probably has a much keener sense of eyesight in the woods, and he's probably not just like shooting off into the trees thinking there's a deer or boar or any animal just somewhere behind the trees and behind the bushes. He's probably very good at identifying what's out there, how far away it is, and making a clean and accurate shot. I'm assuming that's what it is. So when he's out there and he sees something that clearly doesn't look like an animal, but looks like a human being, I'm sure that catches his eyesight very, very simply and easily. But with him also walking out there at nighttime with a torch, he didn't have a rifle with him at the time. So he wasn't staring. He wasn't hunting at the time. He wasn't staring at Eric through sights or a scope or anything. He was just. It did look like he was looking for somebody. It definitely looked like he was looking for somebody. So the fact that you're coming up with this theory that it could have been an accident, that he could have gotten shot by Whitmore because he's a hunter, is a little far-fetched, Charlie. Just saying. But look, I'm with you so far. I just want to hear you out. See what else you got to say. It's a dark night. Again, he didn't have his rifle with him. The forest is dense with trees, but again, he didn't have his rifle with him. What was Adam wearing today? Does anyone know? No. I could watch the video again. He was wearing light and colorful colors. He's wearing a black jacket. Was it back to black jacket? And to be honest, I can't even watch the video again. I don't think I can. Unless they change that. No need, because I know, says Ash. He's wearing his black coat. Which would have made him very hard to see in the darkness of the woods. And very hard to shoot with a rifle without the rifle being present. Don't forget to leave that out. Let's say Adam was walking through Dark Rise. And let's not think about why he was there in the first place for a second. Adam and Whitmore run into each other. Whitmore shoots without his rifle because he didn't have it on him at the time. Unaware that he's aiming at a person. Unlikely. With no prior warning. Also unlikely. But what? He's unaware that he's not unaware that he's aiming at like a human being. Like he can't tell the difference. And he hits his mark without the rifle because he didn't have it on him. He hits his mark. He shoots without the rifle. Hits his mark without the rifle. I've heard similar cases. It's ridiculous. I'm sure it happens, but this is ridiculous. But it isn't, though. These things happen. Just Google it. Maybe he only grazed him. Maybe Adam was able to run away. So you're saying that this happened to Adam, not Eric. So maybe Whitmore was out there tracking down Adam with his torch. But no, he already had, Adam was already caught, I think. But then Whitmore finds him, which would then explain Whitmore's torch. Potentially. So do we think that Joseph Whitmore has Adam? Took Adam? Because Adam didn't make it very far. Not with an injury like that. I think it's pretty far-fetched. I think it is. Goodness, Charlie, are you reading? Are you hearing yourself right now? This is Adam we're talking about. Your friend Adam. Seriously, Charlie, chill out for a second. We have to do this, Ash. The truth can be ugly. Look, you know what, Charlie, chill out. Just damn chill out for a second. I don't think it's that intense. And Charlie says, you say that. You think I'm doing this because it's so much fun? I'm doing this because he's my friend. Because he's important to me. And besides, what, Charlie? One moment. you you had me hooked, Charlie, and then you left me hanging. One moment. I think someone just knocked on my door at this time of night. Who's knocking on your door, Charlie? Who you got coming over to the house? Are you expecting anyone? Probably not. Definitely not. And Charlie's offline. Now Ash is offline. And Violet's offline. And we have puzzles to complete. So, let me know in the comments, do you trust Joseph Whitmore, the Dark Rise hermit? Do you believe that Adam may have been injured by Joseph, and then Joseph was out there looking for Adam, and then but then stumbled upon Eric instead, and then helped Eric? I don't know. I don't think so. It's hard to say, but the idea that, I feel like Joseph Whitmore would have more of a keen sense as to what is going on in that forest, the animals that are there, the plants, the shrubbery, the herbs, like he would have much higher of a keen sense of what's going on and who's there, what's running around, what's walking around, than to just be firing willy-nilly into noises or into bushes thinking there's something there. Like, I don't see that happening with Joseph, but maybe, who knows? I don't know. All I know is that Jesse is upset that I left Duskwood and went to Moonvale, and I know that Eric is with Joseph Whitmore and essentially got treated like Joseph helped him, and when, come dawn, he's going to help him get out of Darkrise. And then we're going to be at square one again trying to find Adam. We have no idea where he's at. As far as game time, like, we haven't even completed an entire day yet in game time, because we're still on like the first night of just trying to locate Adam. So, I don't know. Let me know what your guys' theories are in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos just like this on Moonvale and games similar to Moonvale and Duskwood, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Tethered if you haven't already. Hit the like button for this video if you enjoyed it, or if you're enjoying Moonvale. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about it. Most importantly, share Tongue-Tied Games, and as always, thanks for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.